Hello and welcome back to my craft room. It's the 18th of October, so I've had my bead boxes from Deborah Beads for a couple of weeks now and haven't yet had a chance to play with them. So today's the day. Let's go straight to desk cam. So here's my boxes. I have two boxes. I have the kit box and the bead box. So that's the bead box. And these are still only £5 a month for the subscription, including postage to the UK, so they're really good value. And they always make you try something a bit different I might not have thought of before. So this is the kit box. So this comes with nice clear instructions to create a set, usually bracelet and earrings or necklace and earrings. So this one, it was autumn berries, bracelet and earrings, and they really are. They really do make you think of berries, these, don't they? I wasn't sure to start with about the idea of mixing the gold and silver colours together, but I've decided I'm going to embrace that. It's a bit like the golden autumn leaves tinged with frost. That's what I'm telling myself. And what I'm going to do is the same as I did last month, although it's a pretty set. I won't wear the earrings, so I always do something different anyway. I'm going to do the same as I did last month and mash up the two kits, put the whole lot together, and my plan is that I'll make one glorious necklace. I'm going to call it a Harvest Festival necklace, and I'm going to throw the gold and silver in together, and possibly even some other colour metals. So for instance, I've got some kind of antique brass jump rings, copper colour jump rings, gunmetal colour. Yeah, so I might throw in all different colours of metals, but we'll see how that goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lay everything I've got out on my bead tray. I've also got a bead mat here, which is brilliant because it stops them all kind of rolling around. I'm going to lay these out, and by the power of video editing, here we are. So there we are, all laid out. So just quick look through everything we've got here. So we've got these frosted glass beads. I think they're 8mm. They came in the kit. There are these 6mm crystal AB bicones. Now I didn't know what AB meant, but one of my lovely viewers of my unboxing video very kindly pointed out that AB means Aurora Borealis. How interesting. Of course that's because of the beautiful way they catch the light and so all those different colours out, I guess. What a lovely name. See, this makes them more magical. These pretty ones that look kind of, they're glass, but they look kind of metallic. Very pretty, faceted. I can't make it focus. There we go. Faceted glass beads. They came in the bead box, as did these little green faceted glass beads. I've got some little green seed beads, green glass seed beads there. These amber glass ones, a little bigger. Another lovely viewer told me that these are just called craft beads. Oh, that's it. Yeah. They've got quite a nice large hole, I see, so yeah. These silver leaf charms came in the kit box. It's huge. I guess that's acrylic or something, that pendant. Came in the bead box. This came in the bead box. This fancy clasp. I've got some lobster clasps. I've got some gold head pins. I love these ones with the ball ends. What else haven't I mentioned? Lots of jump rings. As I say, this kind of strange mixture of the gold and silver, but I might throw more of that in together, and yeah, and even the other colour metals as well, just to see how that works out. Also got, I think from the bead box, some green, bottle green beading cord with some clock crimps, and I've got a couple of different kinds of colours of wire. So there's the sort of nickel coloured and the copper coloured there. Really pretty. And then there are all these different colours. These are from the bead box of glass beads. So we've got the smaller black ones and green ones and the larger amber ones. They're probably 6mm and 8mm, I guess. Oh, and this very long length of chain that came in the bead box this time. I love a really long pendant. So what I'm thinking at the moment is I'm going to throw all this together into one extravagant, glorious concoction and call it a Harvest Festival pendant. I will have this at the end. I'll throw the leaves in as well, and I will do lots of little wire looped beads. I've got some things from my own stash as well ready to throw in. So I've got some silver coloured head pins, same as the gold ones with the little ball ends. I've got an assortment of different bead caps, and they're mostly in the silvery colours, but I've got some antique brass and things as well. I've got some spacer beads, mostly silver, some goldy ones, so again I might mix that up a bit. Jump rings I've already shown you, lots of different colours and sizes of those. That's different clasps and things, and that'll be towards the end, same there. Different lobster clasps and what have you. Larger silver colour spacer beads. I think they're silver colour but they're actually made of plastic. Those are wire crimps I may need. Cord ends. And more crimps and cord ends in there. Right. And then I've got various kinds of jewellery wire. So I find this 20 gauge 8mm one really nice to use. It's quite easy to work with, but it holds its shape really well. And then there's also this flexible kind, which is the same as we've got here from the kit. Just got more of it just in case. And then this clear elastic, which is really good for making a nice easy to fit bracelets and rings. In fact, I started making rings recently. So that's everything I've got to play with. I think the next thing I'm going to do is have a bit of a play with combinations, just sort of space things out, use this board to space things out a bit, and then I'm going to make a whole load of these little wired charms that will be spaced. I'll link all the way along the chain with a sort of focal point down here. That's my plan at the moment. Next thing is to just have a little play and arrange things along here and just decide exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to stop filming a minute and then come back and show you what I've come up with. Right, so what I've done is I've done little practice threadings of my little bead charms on the head pins, so that I can just follow that pattern. I haven't got to think too much as I go through, and I know I've got enough of everything to do what I want to do. So I've laid out the main kind of focal beads that will be linked onto the chain, and what I need to do now is go through and make all of the wire charms. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repeated about 4 times. Yeah, so I've got quite a few wire charms to make. I've mixed the silver and the gold together all the way along. What I haven't done yet is work in any of these other colours of metal. I really quite fancy doing that just to see what it would look like. Might be just a step too far. Let's just scatter a few around and see what they would look like. No, I think it's going to start looking hodgepodgey if I do that. I'm going to stick with just the silver and the gold. Let's start making the charms. So I've got some of these head pins I've had in my stash for donkey's years. I'm going to use a mixture of silver and gold. I'm not going to worry about it too much, and I'm just going to follow my plan here. So let's do this black one first. So I've got one of these little, I already put the beads aside for this one. I've got one of these little tubular beads. Now these all came in a previous kit. I found I didn't want the green ones. I didn't want too many of the green ones. I want a few of the green ones dotted through, but I didn't want all green ones. So I've got the green, and then I've got a little silver, a spacer bead, I suppose it is. I'm very much making this up as I go along. So I've even mixed up 2 different colours of these little spacer beads on the same charm. So I've got this first one is silver, this one is a gold colour. Thread that one on, and then I've got one of the amber coloured craft beads and a round silver spacer bead. Again, that wasn't in the kit, that was from my stash. That's my little arrangement there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to need my cutters and some round nose pliers. I'm going to cut this off about just under 1 centimetre from that top bead. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to just grab it just there, just above the bead, as close as I can get. I'm going to bend the wire back to a sort of nearly right angle, and then I'm going to use my round nose pliers to just create a nice round loop, and then I'm just going to wiggle it into place. Yeah, so that's my first little wire charm. So the next one, I'm going to use a silver head pin this time, a green seed bead, a round silver spacer bead, a green faceted glass bead, and one more green seed bead. And now I'm going to, like before, just cut that off about not quite 1 centimetre above that last bead. I'm going to bend the wire back so it's at almost right angles, and then I'm just going to take my pliers and make a nice round loop at the top, tweak it into place. It's not perfect, but you know, that's good enough. I'm going to carry on and make all the charms that I need for my necklace, and then I'll come back and show you how it's looking. If you want a better demonstration of how to do a wire loop, check out the Deborah Beads Facebook page, because she's always got little videos on there telling you how to do these things way better than I can. Right, so it's the next day. I spent most of yesterday evening turning all of the beads into little charms. Let me show you. So I threaded up pretty much all of the beads except for a few of the green seed beads. So let me show you some. Yeah. So now what I need to do is put a jump ring on each one that I can then attach to the chain. I've totally mixed up silver and gold, completely embraced that idea. We'll see how it looks in the finished thing, but I'm quite glad, I'm quite pleased with how it looks at the moment, and I'm torn between calling it Harvest Festival, which is my first idea, or Ode to Autumn, Season of Mists and Mellow Fruitfulness. What I need to do is now spend probably another couple of hours putting a jump ring on every single one of these little charms. I've got some gold ones that came with the bead kits, and I've also got some silver ones out of my stash. So that's going to take me a little while. I'll arrange them all on here and then I'll start putting them on the chain. Right, I've decided it doesn't make sense to put all the jump rings on first, because I need to as I put the jump ring on, attach it to the chain. There's no point in putting it on, closing it up and then opening it up again to attach to the chain. So I've arranged all of my little bead charms here, and now I'm going to start with the middle one, because this will be in the centre. I'm going to find the centre of my chain and attach this one and then work backwards. Some of my little beads, like this cluster of 3 here, they're all going to go on one jump chain, so they look like a little cluster of berries. That's my plan. And then I'll probably put the leaf on the same jump ring and attach that to the chain. Same with these little black ones here, because I thought they looked like berries. So they'll go in a little cluster, but most of them will have a jump ring for each little charm like that. So it's going to be quite a long, laborious process. I'm going to binge watch a bit of Star Trek on Netflix, and I'll come back and show you how it's all looking. I'm very happy with it at the moment. I think it's very autumnal, yeah. Oh, and I didn't mention, I threw in all of these, apart from these silver spacers, and some of the, you know, the head pins and jump rings. Everything was in the kit, or the kit box and the bead box. But these 2 silver charms, the silver plated charms that I had on a pair of earrings years ago, back in the 70s. The earrings broke, I stopped wearing earrings, but I kept these because I just thought they were lovely, and I just think this is the perfect time to use them. Because of the whole kind of seasonal feel of the necklace. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, and it will probably be tomorrow morning now when I finish up this film and show you how it all turned out. Right, it's the next day again. I spent most of yesterday evening patiently attaching each one of my little bead charms onto the chain with jump rings. It was fiddly work trying to get because you can see the holes in the chain are quite fine, and the jump rings I was using are these. So it was quite a fiddle getting the jump rings through the chain, and I did have to use my handy dandy visor, magnifying visor. You know, it's okay. I was half watching an episode of Star Trek on Netflix, which is nice. I love a bit of Star Trek when I'm crafting. So the only thing I have to do now, I don't need to put a lobster clasp or anything on here, because obviously it's plenty big enough to just go over my head, but I do need to link it together. So I'm gonna I don't think one of these bigger jump rings will go through the chain. Haven't got any really fine. Oh, there's one. I don't buy a lot of findings in the gold colour because I'm not so keen on it, to be honest. I prefer the silver ones. I'm just going to use my round nose pliers to just twist the jump ring open. So you twist it that way, you don't open it out that way. And then I'm going to link it through the chain. I'm working on finding a better way to film this. I think I'm going to have to buy a lens that will fit on my webcam, because if I bring the whole thing down, I keep knocking into the ring light around the camera, so that's not going to work. But I'm working on finding a better way of doing this. And then I'm going to link through the other end of the chain, and now I'm just going to close the jump ring back up. I'm going to put my visor on now to check I've done that properly. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't end up using any of the elastic or wire or anything to make a matching bracelet. I just combined pretty much every single bead from both kits and these 2 charms from my stash into one big extravagant necklace. I still can't decide if it's called Harvest Festival or Ode to Autumn. But yeah, but I love it. It's quite heavy, but it's a fairly robust chain. So let's go back up to oh, you can have a look at my gorgeous magnifying visor. It's a really handy thing though, actually. I love the noise it makes. That's it finished. I love how it has got all the colours of the autumn. Oh, let's take this off now. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I've got lots more I've got lots more ideas for different beading projects and things. Look out for those soon if you enjoy this kind of thing. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!